Welcome to Infused Eats, the Cannabis Infused cooking show with the Cannabis Infused host. Today we're making peachy cream cheese pie. This episode of Infused Eats is sponsored by the mighty Fast Herbal Infuser. You can save money on my favorite herbal infuser device with the code RuffHouse at theherbalinfuser.com. This is another in our ongoing summer series of fresh recipes, and for this one we're going to be using fresh peaches. Overall, you need 1/8 of cannabis or a half ounce of rosin chips or shaker trim. You need a 1/4 cup of butter, 5 to 7 ripe peaches, 1 pie shell, that's a 9-inch pie shell, an 8-ounce portion of cream cheese, 1 14-ounce can of condensed sweetened milk, 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now for this recipe you can use, like I said, cannabis flowers, rosin chips, or trim. For this recipe, we are going to be using your regular, normal kind of can of butter. So if you're using rosin chips or trim, you need to put those in an oven-safe bowl. If you're using flowers, you need to grind them, take out the large stems, and put those in an oven-safe bowl. We're going to decarb everything for 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. And then it's up to you which method you use for making the can of butter. If you use the herbal infuser machine, just make sure you use the decarb cannabis. I'm going to be using butter that I used in the crock pot method, and I'll put some links to these methods in the description. Okay, once your can of butter is ready, you can go ahead and proceed with the next step. And we're going to leave that can of butter at room temperature, by the way. So now we're going to go ahead and prep the pie shell. I'm putting the pre-made pie shell, which is fine, into a 9-inch pie dish, and I'm trimming the edges right to the top of it. Okay, I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to proceed with peeling my peaches. So you want to make sure you peel them nice and tight, so you don't want any of the fuzzy shell left on them in there. And then we're going to slice them up, and we're going to put them in the pie shell. And I said 5 to 7 peaches because it depends on how big your peaches are, but you just want to not quite, but almost fill up the pie shell, not mounded or anything like that, but nice and flat, about 3/4 of the way up the pie shell. All right, we have our peaches ready, we have our can of butter ready. Now we're going to make the rest of the filling for the pie. I'm taking my cream cheese, and it was already softened, but I just want to make sure it's nice and whipped up. I don't want any lumps in there, so go ahead and soften your cream cheese first. Then we're going to pour in our sweetened condensed milk, and you want to reserve back about 1/3 of the can of the sweetened condensed milk. We're going to use that to make the caramel sauce on top. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and whip together those two items. We're going to add in our lime juice and our egg and also the can of butter. And you could also use cannabis infused coconut oil for this recipe. You want to mix that together. Don't forget your vanilla, like I almost did. Don't forget to wipe down your sides so it'll be nice and smooth. And then there we have it. We have our pie filling now. All right, the next step is going to be continue on and pouring our wet pie filling on top of the peaches. And we have that infused filling there, and we're just going to let it run in and around the side. And you can just kind of shake the pie back and forth, tap it on the counter a few times to let that filling fill in all around those peaches. And then that's it. We're going to put it in the oven, and we're going to have that at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to bake for about 1 hour. And in the meantime, while the pie is baking, you can go ahead and make this caramel sauce. Now, this is completely optional. If you don't want the caramel sauce, you could just put all of the can of butter and all of the condensed milk into the pie recipe and bake it. But I reserved back a little bit of the can of butter and that 1/3 of the can of the sweetened condensed milk. I put it in a double boiler, and I'm just letting it reduce in that double boiler while the oven is cooking the pie, and it's going to turn into a thicker caramel sauce. And that is optional. You could just put those ingredients in the pie and bake it in. But there you can see the pie is finished. Got a nice brown bubbly top on the top of it there. Oh, it's a really gorgeous looking pie. And I can't wait to try this out because I know that the inside is going to be sort of a rich custard kind of cream cheese. And we have our caramel sauce ready there too. And this is really an amazing dish. That caramel sauce really adds a lot of sweetness, but if you just leave that condensed milk into the recipe or into the dish or the pie, it's just going to sweeten it in that way. So it's sort of optional, up to you if you would make the caramel sauce or not. It's delicious without it, but I recommend it with it too. It really kind of adds a nice layer to it, both literally and taste-wise. Again, I would like to thank the guys at the Herbal Infuser for sponsoring this video. If you find it difficult to make edibles, then you're doing it the wrong way. So check out theherbalinfuser.com and save money with the code RuffHouse. I hope you enjoyed this recipe for peachy cream cheese cannabis infused pie. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to RuffHouse Studios for more cannabis infused recipes made just for you. This is Matt, your cannabis infused host. Thank you for watching.